passengers of today and tomorrow. And so a part of this strategic plan is we want to get the input from CATA passengers, we want to get it from the community, from the leaders, and so how we're doing that is we have different coordinating committees, blue ribbon commissions, stakeholders. We want to get input and insight from everyone, as well as a look at our services that we provide. You know, what is it that we do right now? What is it that we can improve on? And also looking at our funding structure. Is how are we going to fund our structure for the future? Is there anything that we need to change? What are we limited? And then lastly, look at our rebranding. Looking at potentially having a new name, new design, as well as a new way that we do service. So this is a big effort that we're focusing on. We want to make sure we get input from everyone. Who here has already heard of Move Central Arkansas? Please let the hands go. Okay, all right, I got a few. All right. So it's good that we're here and that we're talking about it because we want to make sure that everyone is involved and has their input in it. So again, part of how we're moving forward, Move Central Arkansas, is we're getting that input, getting that insight, as well as telling everyone what we do and how we can do it for the future and what we can do differently. So how is this important to you? It's the economic impact it has. Many of you all have your own businesses and you want to bring consumers in, you want to bring residents in, you want to bring employees in. We have the way to do that. We have the way to do it in a more efficient and effective way.
Owners. Our passengers are law students. Our passengers are students at Pulaski Tech. We've got folks who work in this community day in and day out, and they choose transit. It's not something they have to do. They choose transit because it just makes sense in their life. It's economical, it just makes sense. And not only are folks like you choosing transit every single day, they're doing so to a large extent. CATA carries 3 million passengers a year, so this isn't a handful of folks who just have to have public transportation to get by. We do have needy individuals who ride our services. These are people who choose transit every single day. So hopefully that's something that you can walk away with today, is that transit riders, people who ride our buses, people who ride our streetcar look just like you, and they're professionals just like you are. So I got to start off. I appreciate Terry not spilling soup on me. You're trying to pick me up. I really appreciate that. He did say we got to move along today, but I do want to introduce some of our board members. We have 3 board members here from the CATA board of directors, and the number of miles that people drive. And it's been going down since then. No matter what gas prices do, the number of miles that we drive are going down. Arkansas likes to buck the trend. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, but typically it's going down. And that is because millennials, this generation, these folks who are between 16 and 34, they don't want to drive. They want to live in an environment where they can walk, where they can bike, or where they can ride transit. And they're doing so in great numbers. Over a 40% increase. This generation wants to use public transportation 40% more, or they do so 40% more than previous generations. So that's something they're looking for when they want to relocate to a specific area. So this is a great statistic. So one reason that millennials wish to drive less is because they invest their limited resources into technology. And so when Paul, if you ask a millennial, what could you not do without? Your car, your computer, or your phone? What do you think they're going to say? So most people are going to think, if it's you, you're going to think, well, my livelihood, because I'm in sales, because I've got to get to work every day, I need my car. Millennials don't feel that way. 65% of millennials will tell you, I can't live without my computer, I can't live without my phone. The car is third on the list. This is a group who, again, they want transportation alternatives. They also want to live downtown. They don't want to live necessarily way out, and they don't want to have a 30-mile commute. They want to live downtown. And businesses need to realize this. If you're going to go where the people are, you're going to have to start looking at areas like Argenta, which is blossoming, downtown Little Rock. That's where you're going to have to continue to look and invest. So how well is Central Arkansas situated to attract these young professionals? We've got some good news and some bad news. For the most part, we have above, this is based on 2010 census data. I'm not making any of this up. So as far as the national average is concerned, we're doing fairly well. Slightly above average in how we retain these 18 to 34-year-old professionals. We have above average employment. You guys are doing a tremendous job of keeping Central Arkansas employed. You're to be commended for that to a huge degree.